Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. In today's video we're here to talk about React, Relive, Rangers free, Hearts 1, Scants pulled down and Rangers trot on to a final. That's right people, it's nice having a final to look forward to. And dare I say, people, that was a nice experience sitting watching us play in a semi-final. I mean, nice and watching us play hasn't really went hand to hand for a little while, but it's starting to come as a bit of a regularity regarding our man Clement, as he's bringing in structure, he's bringing in people, he's bringing in a team that looks so much better already in the space of 2-3 weeks than it did for 5 months for pre-season. We were told to be patient, we were told this. What Clement's done in such a short period of time is absolutely incredible, and I'm sure if any of the Hearts players were able to turn up the day at Hampden, they'd sit there and agree with it. It was just unfortunate that they couldn't make it. And truthfully, there is so much gone ruined in the grey noggin right now, I don't really know where I'm going to start, but I feel like I need to mention a couple names, then we'll get in naturally into the game recap. The first name that we need to mention is the name of Scott Hampden Wright. We spoke about him in yesterday's preview video, a pretty lengthy part if you watch yesterday's preview video, because I felt like he could hurt this team. The system that's now been built, the structure that's now been built by Clement is filled with wings, pace, driving at the back line, causing issues, everything we've been starved of all season long. And I was surprised not to see him start this game, I'll be honest, because again I spent so long talking about Wright in yesterday's game, but I understood why the change was made at half time. And this is where we give praise to Scott Wright, because he came on, attacked the game and was brilliant. But we also need to talk about the puppet master Clement as well, because what he did at half time was look and identify how Hearts were playing and knowing how to go about and hurt them. And it took Todd Cantwell off, one of the most creative players in Scottish football, one of the best players in Scottish football, but he withdrawn him at half time. No one more behind, but he just felt like it wasn't where he wanted it to be. He went and done that proactively because he thought he knew somebody on that bench would be able to hurt them the way that they're playing, and that's exactly what a real manager actually does. It's no saying that Cantwell's not got a future or Clement doesn't fancy Cantwell going forward, blah blah blah, there's problems. It's nanny that, troops. We wanted a manager, we spoke about that. He's no bogged down by if they play good previously I need to play them all the time, I'll only make changes if it's the 65th minute and we're 1-0 behind. No, he just went and identified where and how Hearts were playing and what he had available to him to go and exploit that. It's everything we've been craving as Rangers fans, and we finally have a gaffer that's willing to make the big ballsy call. So I shout out to Clement and his crown jewels, because that could have backfired massively, but it never. It was a sheer stroke of, dare I say, genius. And I think again I can maybe use the word genius, because the fact that he's been able to pull us through a 98th minute game versus Hearts in a semi-final, and I've not been terrified, I've not been dreading, I've not been feeling sick, is a testament to what this man's impact in such a short period of time. But aye, he only can put the pieces in place. It's about the pieces actually turning up, and there was delicious pieces out there this evening. And aye, I don't know how many times I'm going to say pieces. It almost feels like it's went on too long, but I feel like I'd maybe get one in later on in the video. But I want to talk about two other names, then we'll get in to the game recap. I want to talk about the mass warrior, Danilo. Again, no got a goal or anything in the day. I did think he would end up scoring, but can you just appreciate the difference that man put out there on the park for us? The running, the unselfish running, the movement. He's as sharp as attack. Yes, he didn't score. Yes, maybe hit a couple over the bar or anything like that, but he changes this game completely and changes this entire team, and it makes me sick to my stomach that we had that boy was running about there like a demon for pre-season and we weren't using him. We were punting long balls, we were playing through balls to boys that can't run, whilst looking at that talent, look at that skill and saying, nah, we're not going to play you. It's actually disgusting to think about, but now we've got a manager that appreciates talent, and that talent is well and truly leading the line for us. And shout out to our boy Danilo, obviously won the penalty and got an assist. You could argue he got two in the evening. We'll love to see that from Mr. Brazil. And the last name isn't going to be Tavernier, believe it or not, because as we get to the game recap, you're obviously going to hear his name. I'm going to talk about another guy that I'm going to spoil the rest of the video for, the man for me who was the man of the match this evening, and that was, can you guess in the comments? I'll give yous a couple seconds. It is none other than Sima. Honestly, I'll keep this one short, I'll keep this one sweet. Sima was sensational today. No goals, no assists, but the amount of running he done. I quite like that Civic that plays for Hearts. Again, no for us or anything like that. You can't see me praise people saying, oh yeah, he's good enough for Rangers. I'm not saying that, but Civic normally has a decent game. He's had good games versus Morelos. He's had good games versus Kent. Sima ate that laddie all damn day. They ended up having to bring 2 men on him with Kingsley, and he just ate him up as well. Sima, for me, with the unselfish work rate, the amount he run in the day, the crosses he put in and the chances he created, stand out man of the match. And I don't know if it's because, again, he's so tall or anything like that. Maybe we've heard him a couple of years ago playing in Europe, but that type of performance in a semi-final, that type of unselfish performance for a loanee who is just 22 years old, deserves a special mention. I didn't think we're winning that game if our boy Sima putting them on skates every single time he touches it. Or I should say, I didn't think the game's going to be as comfortable as it ended up doing, because he was a danger man and they were absolutely terrified of them. I can't remember, maybe Kent, when Kent was really at it, that we had somebody on the wing that the team was just terrified of. But enough talking around the plate then, shall we? Let's pick up our pieces and eat it. You're welcome for that one. And we're going to hear the name Tavernier a lot, but again, it was Danilo that after about a cagey first 10 minutes, a sort of usual cagey semi-final, setting the tone, nothing really happening. It was just getting through the first 10 minutes, everybody getting a touch. The game started to heat up a little bit. It was a beautiful long ball from Connor Goldson out to the unselfish run for Sima. He brings it down perfectly, plays it to Danilo. Danilo cuts inside, has a shot. It was just over the bar. It was a nice bright spark, and again, showing you just how badly and how easily Sima can blow completely past Civic and Kingsley. Now, you might have heard me take a wee bit of a shot earlier on in the video about Hearts not turning up, and for me, if I was their fans, I'd be sort of disgusted about how they tried to approach this game, because you could talk about a cagey 10 minutes, you could talk about finding your feet, but they turned up there the day just to play 2 banks of 5 again, and I just didn't understand it after watching Hearts for years upon years and seeing how dangerous they can be and how good they are going forward, and the goal scorers, they've got Shanklin, one of the best goal scorers in Scotland, and to see that man stand up there and just get punted long ball after long ball when the guy can't really run over, it's just so confusing to me. And I was honestly embarrassing the tactics that Hearts had played at Hampden. For me, semi-final, you go out there, you're supposed to be pissed off, you're supposed to be angry about what happened to Ibrox, and you turn up like that. Again, this isn't what I normally say. I'm not being a bad winner, if you will. I'm just saying, for a semi-final point of view, to see a team play that negatively once they've got that amount of attacking talent, a change needs to be made there, because they are going miles backwards for the team that I called just a couple years ago, or just last year, sorry, the third best team in this country. And the longer you watch today's video, you'll know that, because we spoke about the Danilo chance. Then a couple of minutes later, Cantwell and Danilo linking up so beautifully. Again, that's something I want to see grow and develop over time. It's a great little ball from Cantwell into Danilo. Danilo flicks it over the defence. Cantwell tries a volley. He actually tries to day the goalie by faking it out and hitting it near post. It's actually such a clever technique that the man's got. But Xander Clark was very big there with a great save, and that kept us at bay so far, and that's all you could really see. We got the ball again, Hearts no doing anything going forward. Just 2 minutes after that chance, we get the ball, we're dominating down the right hand side. This time it's Jacko playing out to Tavernier. Tavernier skins his man, chips a ball to the back post. Big Sima in the air, beats Civic again, who's no slouch in the air department, but forces Clark into what I consider his best save of the day. It's one of the Ian's for a Rangers fan, you're saying, how's that no went in? Then you see it back on Twitter and everything like that later on when you're coming home and that, and you're saying, fair enough. It's just a great save. But again, it was one way after one way after one way. They had a beautiful combination play again for Danilo to Cantwell. They pass it to Cantwell. Cantwell chips it up. Danilo hits a volley and it's just over. It's honestly like the big boys were playing the younger class at primary school and you're just absolutely skilling and thrilling. That's what it looked like. It was just bullying out there. It was just unfortunate we couldn't grab that actual goal. Jacko then running down the right hand side plays a great cross and Cantwell gets his header on target. And it's another good save, but it was relentless, it was breathless. All we were needing was that breakthrough. But to save us all time, I'm not going to talk about every single half chance or half opportunity we had in the first half, or this video would be about 45 minutes long. That's how good we played and how much we strangled the life out of, again, a pretty defensively pathetic Hearts side, in my opinion. Anyway, we keep going at it, we go at it. Sima has a header, couple of that. We get into half time and we're thinking to ourselves, what's going on here? In fact, the only thing I was thinking was Balogun, who done well with a kind of block, ended up hurting and he was sort of walking, you know what I mean? He was getting the old Godfather for WWE WWF with the limp that he had. I thought he'd be brought off at half-time, and the sub board comes out and you're like, well, it's going to be Balogun off for Ben Davies. And then it's Cantwell again, who's played well. People are already making narratives up on Twitter saying, he doesn't look happy on the bit. Who's wanting to be happy getting subbed off in a semi-final? Cantwell was playing well. He created 3 or 4 major opportunities and had 2 shots on target. But again, Clement looked at how Hearts were setting up after 45 minutes, tweaked his formation. No, being bogged down in the only one play style that he's got. He put Scott Wright on there and just told the boys to run ragged and have fun. And it's no surprise to me after the first couple minutes into the second half, it's Danilo again. His movement, man, it's just good to watch. You know what I mean? You sit and watch that and you say, aye, there's the quality, there's the talent we actually know boys have got, and he ends up winning out in nothing. Troops, this is just on his aim. The header, it's actually a Hearts player who tries to headers it back. It might be Sibic again, by the way, trying to head it back to Clark, but Danilo reads it. It's just brilliant forward play, gets his foot on it, the goalie fouls him, clear penalty kick, up steps Tavernier for yet another penalty versus Hearts, his 3rd penalty in 2 games versus Xander. Clark, miss one, score one. Pressure's on, 49th minute, semi-final, 0-0. Can the skipper take us and be the guy we need them to be to lead us in the direction we want to be come full time? Well, yes he can. It's a brilliant penalty kick, and Xander Clark stands in the middle as he thinks again. He's had so many versus Tavernier. I don't know what Tavernier was thinking. I'd have been bricking myself, but he tucks it into the other corner, his weaker corner, if you will, and that set us on our way. And it was honestly one of those games that was so one-sided that when you got the first goal, you knew it was over at that. Now, I say that, and I mean it truly in my heart, but it doesn't mean Jack Butland was sitting there with a deck chair out. He did have to provide 2 moments for us and give us the platform to go. And when the next one was a good save from a corner kick, gets whipped in, it's a good save for Butland. Nothing too extravagant or anything, but it's a good save for Butland. And what that sets up is the counter-attack that we end up doing after a minute or 2, putting the ball into the back of the net once again. And what I love here is it's not only Ryan Jack driving with the football, because he's got that in his game. Some people have this horrible opinion of Jacko that he's a bad player. I don't get it. Look at the win statistics when this man starts for us. He's a tremendous footballer for his football club. He drives forward, he plays it into Danilo, who again took a touch off his man, which has created the space for Scott Wright, who's coming like a steam train behind him, and then Scotty Wright doing it once again. Scott Wright, Hampden, tears coming down my eye, troops. It's a phenomenal finish. He's away saluting for Scotty Arfield. I believe he's doing a celebration for Arfield as well, and it was great to see, because again, he has been on the end, even myself slaughtering him this season. But again, if you watch yesterday's video and you've watched the videos properly and all of the videos, what I was frustrated about was Beale no wanting the laddie. Then when he started to drown, started just throwing him on, looking clueless. That was the frustration for me. Clements gave everybody a fresh chance, and you've got to admit, right, has took it. Now, going back to when I mentioned Jack Butland having a very good save at 1-0 to give us the platform to make it 2-0, well, he went ahead and made a very good save at 2-0 to give us the platform to go and make it 3-0. And this one's actually a great effort from Hearts, I'll be honest with you. That was the one time they started playing football, because again, they were forced to 2-0 down. This is a sensational save for Jackie Butland, who never had too much today. The 2 saves we mentioned, couple crosses claimed, but having that comfortability and being confident in a man in the sticks, I can't explain to you what it must mean, and it must mean for the defence as well. Great save for Butland, and then we end up going forward. Scott Wright is beating a couple people. Clearly a pull on the jersey. It's quite clearly a free kick. It's one of the free kicks that you've heard many times. Stop me if you've heard this before. It's almost too close to the actual goal, you know what I mean? Because you can't get it up and over. Well, Tavernier, son, went ahead and silenced that, as once again Clark's just standing there like a bystander watching that bad boy rattle the top bin. That is naughty. That is Tavernier, and that is your captain scoring 2 goals in a semi-final and setting us on our way to a final. Again, he's been really poor at the start of this season, but what he's done since Clement's come in is rolled his sleeve up, pulled his captain armband, and had moment after moment, and he's looking like him old self. So we welcome that, ladies and gentlemen, because if he keeps playing like this, the goals that he's scoring, the assists that he's creating, the games that he's winning is what we need if we want to be a successful club. Now you're looking at Free, and then we just started to have a little bit of fun again. Seema creates a couple opportunities. Another one for Scott Wright as he just burns down the left hand side, plays it into the middle. Your Barisic getting played through by Seema down the left hand side with a great run for Scott Wright. Plays it into Barisic, forces Clark into a save, and it wasn't one of them as, oh, what's going to happen now? It was just how many it was actually going to be. And even what I'm saying right now, knowing how it goes, I'm still surprised that we never went and scored 4, 5, 6 or 7. Now we did start to make a couple changes because the game was done. It was done. We had killed Hearts. We had sucked the life out of them. They looked beat for almost the first whistle, if I'm honest with you. And at 3-0 up, we were just having fun. And that's when we brought in players that needs the minutes. That's how we're taking this. We're in a semi-final and bringing on people that's need minutes and getting confidence up. I love the direction we're heading. Because a month ago, I would never in my wildest dream expect us to be bringing on people needing confidence and building fitness 3-0 up in a semi-final. Just the shots, the impact this man's had's incredible. And Dessers ends up coming on and trying overhead kick. Like, what do you want from it? He scores 1 goal versus Dundee and he's cutting about doing overhead kick. I like it. But what I didn't like is the other substitute. Well, I did like it because it made sense because Balogun was obviously carrying a little bit of a knock. By the way, I don't know what we gave him at half time. That boy couldn't even walk and he came out and strolled it for 40 minutes in to that second half. Whatever we gave him in the second half, I'd like to try it. So I'm saying, I'll fire out there, we'll leave it, we'll see if it lands, I'll see if anybody gets in touch. But Balogun ends up getting substituted off for Ben Davies. A part of the substitutions we mentioned with the likes of Tom Lawrence. Great to see our boy. And Ben Davies' first touch is to give away a penalty. That's right, but it wasn't given as a penalty first as Kingsley was booked for his second time. And it was actually his second dive. He got away with it in the first half, what we already mentioned with the header that Butland got. He's dived. He should have got his second yellow right then and there, but the referee let him off with it. This time he thinks he's dived again, sends him off, but VAR gets this one absolutely spot on. Troops. Davies has just got a silly little leg on it. He doesn't need to actually do it there, especially 3-0 up. You didn't need to give the opposition a chance. He makes a meal of it, but there's a touch on it. Penalty kick, up steps Shanklin, shown again. He's possibly Rangers standard with the way that he finishes penalty kicks. But aye, if he did come up here, Troops, how many penalties is he going to take? Exactly on that one. It did make it 3-1, but did it change the game? Did it give Hearts a boost? Did we start looking nervous? No. It was controlled, it was structured, and it was a complete performance. For Rangers, we created the chances in the last 10 minutes after being 3-1. Hearts never offered nothing apart from long ball, long throw in, embarrassing football and that, and that's a worry that's made it all the way to a semi-final. And if I was a Hearts fan, I'd be wanting that change round somehow because it's just gone completely backwards in my opinion. And we're a couple more shots to end the game, but we're going to wrap it up right there with a Rangers 3, Hearts 1 performance. And I've got to be honest, it was dominating, it was commanding, and more importantly, it's very, very encouraging because once again, I'm watching a team just look completely different. I thought Lonnie was really good in the game as well. He looks like he's got a spring in his step. Do you know why? Because he's not getting told to babysit the back two all the time. He's allowed to go and be a midfielder, and he's no the only one. But I am absolutely buzzing with this one, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to get it up now just to see what you've got to say for yourselves down in the comment section. We'll see some happy thoughts. Who stood out to you? What grabbed you from the game, and who was your man of the match? There's plenty of candidates, so it'd be great to see what you've got to say down in the comment section below. And I'll wrap up with last little thing. Sterling didn't put a foot wrong in the game. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Siege92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.